And she's back.
This is Life Burst. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Matt, and today, back in the studio, we continue one of our favourite stories.
Yeah, thanks for coming back, Marjorie, and continuing on with your life story.
Glad to be back.
We only got a part way through it last time.
We did.
Looking forward to what comes next.
Now, if you haven't watched Marjorie's story, part one, you can go back and watch on YouTube and Facebook. But if you have, it might be familiar. Behind us, we have a prop, which we never got to that part of the story.
We might get there today.
There's a few more props to come as well. So make sure you stay tuned. Mm-hmm. So, Marjorie, you've talked about a whole lot of your life last time.
Yes.
Born in the Adelaide Hills, a lot of time around there. You've been through a fair bit. You won some prestigious awards.
Yes, Queen's Award and Pioneer Pin.
Yeah. And you also taught us about life in the newspaper business.
That's right, yes. Yeah, well, I was there for 17 years at the Mount Barker Courier, and I just thought I'd bring in some pictures that people can see to give more of an idea at the lead that was used in the different sorts. Mm-hmm. So I think on the screen,
There we go.
There we have a case full of different words and numbers and alphabets and everything. In there, you go and choose what you needed to make up your word. This here, I know you can't really see it, but this is a piece of lead here, which has got the letter Q on it.
Mm-hmm. So for those who are just listening, can't see, it's a block of metal, and on the end, the letter Q. It's
That's correct. Yeah. Which then you put ink over, and then a piece of paper, and it prints off onto the paper.
And now we're talking about going back as far as newspapers before computers. So,
yes.
Yeah, run us through.
Back in the olden days. So,
Back in the olden
days. Quickly, because you cover it in your last
Okay, yes. So to do with these lead, we used to use a linotype. Is that coming up on the screen?
I'm sure it will. There's a linotype, but explain to the people who are listening what's a linotype.
Linotype is a machine that actually, there they are there. It actually melts down lead. You've got this great big long piece of lead that then goes through the machine and is melted down. And the typist's there, they're typing, and it prints out these bits of lead with the raised surface on it. So then they then take it and they'll make up all the words using these little bits of lead.
Letter by
letter. Put it together, letter by letter. Then they can also do bigger ones, which, there's a diagram there. And then we've got ones that are big block ones as well. I think that's coming up now.
So slightly bigger than the smaller ones.
This one's actually got a picture of a flower on it.
Okay,
so a little bit of embellishment for borders and underlines. And
yeah. So if you want to make a border out of this, you'd have to use a whole lot of them to go around. Border.
Okay. So all stamp by stamp by.
So it was very, very interesting, very noisy.
Yeah.
Clatter, clatter, clang, clang. Yeah. So, and then it was put into trays.
Okay.
And there's the quick fox jumped over the.
Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, they teach you that in radio.
The lazy dog.
So this was a big part of your life. Remind us, for a number of years you were there doing the hard work as a part of the newspaper in Mount Barker.
Yeah. And then it changed to computers. Printing. I went in there today actually to get these little bits of lead, and they were there on computer, making up the newspaper and everything.
Much quieter.
Yeah, much quieter.
Yeah.
And last time you brought in a few props to show us about how you grew up on a farm.
That's right.
Take us back to then.
Yeah, so there should be another photo coming up soon.
Yes, I'm sure it will come. But
that lived on a dairy farm and. Grew up with cows and feeding calves and doing harvesting.
So now you're riding a cow there, or you just...
Oh, no, I used to ride Ferdinand. That's Ferdinand. He was my steer. He was my
Ferdinand.
Hereford.
Yeah.
And, that's me, you know. I didn't do much on the farm except laze around with him and that, but I used to, ride him and everything. I tried it with another cow, but she bucked me off into a barbed wire fence, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
Just stick with Ferdinand, is that right? That's the name?
Ferdinand.
And how old did she live to?
He lived till...
Or he lived to?
Well, I'm not too sure.
Okay.
Can't remember.
Okay, well, now this might be a good segue because Ferdinand was a big part of your life. You know, He was the one cow, but as
I had
as
many,
you went on,
but...
many cows. Okay, soon into your life steps another young man.
Yes.
It wasn't a cow.
No, it wasn't a cow.
Tell us about
Oh my God.
your transition into.
You're really asking the question that I always ask in a really bad way.
Yeah.
Just saying right now.
It seemed like a good
Yes.
segue.
How did you meet your husband?
There you go. She
That's-
always loves to say that.
Nicer way to put it, calling him a cow.
I went on a blind date, as a
Okay.
lot of relationships do.
Uh-huh.
And a friend of mine, she says, we're going down to Globe Derby, which is a trash and tourism market down there and everything. And would you like to come along? A few of us are going down there and that. So I went down with her and another person, but this other person that she was doing a blind date with went separately. So anyway, we got to meet Peter. And she says, you can go home with Peter if you like. And Peter asked me to go home with him, and that was fine, yeah. So the way that I met Peter was that he was the trash and I was the treasure.
Of course.
Yes, I always say that to people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he took you home because the Globe Derby's a bit over an hour away from
That's
where you
correct.
were living
Yep,
at the
yep,
time.
yep,
So you
yep.
drove home and he dropped you at home. And what happened next?
I had a black Taranga chasing me up Hutchinson Street at Mount Barker because I worked at the Courier and that, and I thought I usually went out for lunch and that, and in my car, in my Morris 1100, I saw this black Taranga behind me and I thought, that's him. And he followed me all the way back to the Courier and, then we, had lunch together and, then went out as couples do, Red Apple Restaurant, and the Sizzler, all those old places that are no longer around. So,
Okay.
Right.
yeah.
So at some point, someone popped the question.
Yeah, he did when I had glandular fever.
Okay.
Okay. This
Got
Were you
me on the
down?
spot. I was down. He grabbed me.
Yeah, right.
He lifted me up.
So it sounds like, however, though, that it, he used to follow you a bit, like in a nice way.
Yeah.
Is that right? What type of things did he used to do before he proposed to you? You were saying that it was following you down the main street.
Well,
and
find me down the main street and we would used to just go out and, yeah.
Okay. And so how did he propose then?
Like I said, he asked me, with a piece of paper, I think it was, would you take my hand in marriage? Yeah, on a piece of paper.
And you said yes.
Yes, that's
Yes,
right.
of course. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. And then what happened from there?
Well, from there, I think we were engaged for about 9 months or so, and then was married on the January the 5th, 1991.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. And we've had a photo of that pop
We
up.
have.
Was it married in Achunga?
No, we're married at Allgate Valley Church of
Allgate,
Christ.
yeah.
There's a picture. She's
Yes.
got props.
There's me and Peter, and looking all very happy here.
Shall we put them on the table again?
We can put them on the table if they stand up.
Stand up. We can put them by the flowers in.
Look at that.
In
We've
the
got
break.
two stuffed little,
They're knitted.
knitted.
Oh, my cousin knitted them for me for a wedding
Sorry,
present.
Not doing so well. Beautiful. Well, Marj, there's more story to tell, and thank you for bringing us to that point. We'll be back
thank
with
you.
more Life Bursts right after this.
Welcome back to Life Bursts with Matt and Sarah. We're chatting with Marjorie today. Again, part 2. This is definitely an interview that you want to jump online for. If you're listening to it, not watching it, jump online to our Facebook and YouTube channel. We currently have 2 knitted dolls here, which one is Marjorie and one is her husband Peter. And then we have some... I forgot lead. Thank you. The lead numbers and letters that they used to use in the newspaper industry before computers. So our table is slowly filling up with lots of different props, and she's got more. So you've married Peter. It's
Married
all
Peter.
lovey-dovey.
Yes.
What came next?
We built a house.
We built a house.
Yes, we built a house.
And guess what she's got, everyone?
Just like this one. You need a hand?
Yeah,
A prop of the house. She's
just a house here.
Yes.
Excellent. Brick by
Made
brick.
out of Lego. It's very sturdy.
Yes.
But there is a story with this house.
Okay.
I got the box too. When I was 4 years of age, we went into Rundle Mall, and they had a competition. They actually had a Lego competition with Humphrey being nearby and that. And they had all these great big tables set out, huge, and just so much Lego. I've never seen so much Lego in my life. It was like paradise. And anyway, there was entries, children there and everything, and we had to build something. So I built myself a house, not that one, out of Lego. Anyway, we only had a certain length of time to do it in, and we getting near the end. Nobody else was helping their children. They were all helping me try to finish my house. I had all the parents nearby grabbing all the pieces for me, putting them into for me to do. And that. So in the end, I won, and I won this house.
This very house.
So I married Peter, and I won a house, and I won a house here. And guess what?
What?
I got to kiss Humphrey on the nose.
Amazing.
I'm getting, last into you like Humphrey. Yeah, very exciting. Okay, so you built the house. Was it, how much effort did you put into building the house yourself?
Lots of effort.
Lots of effort. You know, some people just let the builders do it.
Oh, yeah, well, the builders did it and everything, but you have to let the builders know what to do, and then go out and buy the, look at the material and look at all the decor and the taps and the washers and everything else that you want, and yeah.
And why did
why
did you end up picking Echunga and the block of land that you did?
Because it was always liked Echunga because I grew up there, and Peter also lived there for quite a while, but he was involved with the CFS at Echunga. And we did start off at Mount Barker for a couple of years, but we moved to Echunga because he was in the CFS and I was doing other community stuff there, and we both loved it. So yeah, we got ourselves a block of land, 2,600 square metres in the middle of Echunga there. Yeah, where I've got ducks and cows, and not cows. No cows. I did have cows when there was no fence up.
Ferdinand's long gone.
Ferdinand was a bull by the sounds of it. Dear.
Oh, no. Yeah, I opened up the kitchen window one morning because we didn't have fences up by then, and the neighbours' cows from down the end had come into our backyard. So it was like, there's a cow out there.
Right. Yep. So you've still got some land, and it's a nice country setting. I've been there as well. But soon along came someone else into your life, and
I wonder who that was.
yeah. So what our listeners may not know is that Marj happens to be Sarah's mother. This is the part of the story where Sarah came into the world.
Yeah, I do have a prop.
Hi. I'll just sit on the table, okay? Just give me
Oh dear. But I didn't bring any photos or anything to embarrass them.
No, but this did change your life dramatically as well.
It did, yes. Yeah. We found out that 18 months of age, Sarah was diagnosed with juvenile arthritis, which is a very hidden disease that children can get, and we didn't realise. We thought it was an old person's disease. So we, as well as bringing up a girl, and that we also was going to hospital visits and physio and eye appointments and things like that.
And so you can hear more of Sarah's story on one of our previous episodes as well. So we yeah, worth sharing. But for
Yes.
you as a mother, what impact did that have on you, having your child go through things that even you probably didn't understand at the time?
It's very hard. You need lots of patience, lots of strength. There can come a time that you go to the doctor appointment or something, and they tell you this, and you just come home and you feel like crawling in a corner, and you think, what's going on here? You just lose everything, washed out. But you just get on with it, and you help them as much as you can, and through schooling and activities and things like that.
Yeah.
So it gives you more strength, that you build a different relationship with your child. I hope I have.
So my mom, and you're on the TV show, so I think we're good.
Hi. Yeah.
And did you have support through that? And where did you find support through all of those years of going through and wanting to hide in the corner?
Yeah, I didn't hide in the corner very often,
No,
but just
that's
occasionally.
Yeah.
Just through other parents that were found that their child also had juvenile arthritis, and then there was a lot of literature and things out there for children, and and just through friends you got the support, and that they just helped me out with different activities when I had to take her to hospital. My mum used to come along every time without fail, but as Mum got older, she was unable to, so then I had friends come with me to help me out, because by then I had another son called Michael.
Right.
Yeah, who's now 24.
And there's definitely no pictures of him.
No, I didn't want to
He
embarrass
doesn't
him
particularly
either.
like pictures either.
Yeah, so Michael came on the scene, and he was a good, active little boy.
How did that change things in our family? Now that everyone knows you're my mom, I could be like, how did that change in our family? I'm trying to like pull things out of you when like you dating dad and stuff, because I know things that obviously you just didn't want to share them. But how did the dynamic change when my brother came along?
I think he just came along. And you just hugged him.
Right.
Well, I don't know, just like other siblings. No, he used to tag along to the appointments, and we'll be there and playing while I go off and with Sarah, and while she had her appointments, and he just accepted it. I mean, he did feel out of it, because you give more attention to the person with a disability, but I tried not to. Peter was the same, we just was equal, and that treated them both equal, and still do.
What would you say to other parents or even siblings of people who are have some kind of disability or illness that they're living through, working, supporting? Would you have any advice?
Just look after yourself. If you have any problems, to find somebody to talk to about it, and just be yourself and just relax. Take a time out for you to do something for yourself. Don't always child.
Good advice.
Yeah, very much so. We will be back with more Life Bursts straight after the break with Matt and Sarah chatting with Marjorie. Welcome back to Life Bursts, here with Matt and Sarah. We're chatting with Marjorie, which you've now all found out is actually my mum. It's very exciting to have her back sharing her story. Part 2. So if you missed part 1, you can jump back onto our socials and find it there to rewatch. But you've talked about me coming into the world. Lovely stories.
Yes.
You talked about my brother. Also lovely stories. What came next?
Well, you wouldn't have had time to do much else, would you?
Oh, I did lots.
Behind us there is a particular prop that was a significant moment, and your shirt as well. It's been an Olympic year this year, so
Yes.
it might look a little familiar, but something
Yeah,
Tell
well,
us
this is to do with the Commonwealth, the Baton. The Olympics has the torch, and yeah. So with when you said to me, I have time for anything else, I used to make awareness that children live with arthritis, and just did different things and everything. So for my achievement in that, I was nominated to do the Queen's Baton Relay
Right, okay.
in Meadows, which was fantastic. Yeah.
So that was out of recognition for all your volunteer work and your advocacy and all those things.
Yeah,
fantastic.
What were the types of things that you used to do?
did badge collecting, flowers for charity, which we'll talk about later. Just out there making awareness, used to wear a badge and just talk to people about it, and that it was just something I wanted to do.
So this is raising awareness, particularly for
Children with arthritis.
yeah, because you lived through that yourself as a
Yes.
parent, and you're wanting to support others.
That's correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Okay, so describe to us, what does the baton look like behind
Yeah, let's
us?
bring it out.
Yes, bring it out of its little silver
It's got
holder.
a little holder, sits in my family room. I'll just put that one down
Nice
there.
and green.
I'll try not to make too much noise. It is. So it's the relay started in Cordorf in Wales in 2006.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a thing on there. No. Went through 71 nations. Took a year and 1 day to go from Wales to Melbourne.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a long way.
Via Meadows in the Adelaide Hills.
In the Adelaide Hills, yeah. Not Ichunga.
No,
Had to be Meadows.
Yes.
So the back of the baton is green.
Green,
And then
yes.
the top there's a golden tinge.
And the green is for the Garden State because it was going to Victoria.
yeah.
Then we have the metal, which is this part up here, which
On the
was
top.
much golden than that. That was for the metal of the future. Then inside of it, there used to be a little tracker. There was a tracking device, not in here. And that used to track where the baton was going through, and you could watch it on the internet, every part where it was. It also carried the Queen's message in it.
Yeah, right.
So I was carrying the Queen's message all the way
Wow.
through Meadows
To get to the game.
to get to the games.
So how did you feel to be nominated and then to be out there running?
It's like, wow.
What an honour.
My children were very, very excited. They said, well, Mum, you're going to have to get out there and practice. So we worked out that, because I had to do 300 metres. No, 500 metres. It was 500,
Yes.
500 metres. So we worked out that around the block was a kilometre.
Okay.
And that, so I had to do a block every night. Running with a 1.5 kilo bottle of water or whatever, because that's how much this weighed.
Okay.
Yep. So it happened in 2006. It was fantastic. They actually said to me in a letter that I'd be running along from Meadows along Batunga Road, and I thought, wow, Batunga Road is like 10 kilometres long. I thought, I'm going to be doing the Chariot of Fire song, song, you know.
Yeah.
But no, I actually, in the end, I did 800 because we were running, and then there was spectators further on than the 500.
Right.
So they said, oh, do you think you can do the rest? And I said, oh, yeah.
You've trained for this.
Yeah.
Right, that water bottle. And what about your shirt? Your shirt is white, and we've got green either side of it as well.
That's correct,
And
yes.
then there's a logo. just
Melbourne,
watching the microphone there.
2006.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah.
Looks
Yeah, with
awesome.
Australia on it.
Long sleeve
Through
shirt.
years. Mm-hmm.
Very proud.
I
of
didn't
all
wear
the
the other
women.
part because they were shorts.
Yes.
Bit
very-
cold for shorts
At the
today.
moment.
No
Recording in
shorts.
winter.
Shorts, that's
Spring.
fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. Well, congratulations. It's a
Yes,
great
thank you.
honour to. I don't know too many Baton runners, but even to
Yes.
be nominated by that recognises
Yeah.
your volunteer commitment, and some of that you shared last time as well. Your community spirit, you're getting involved with things, where that's
Yeah.
come from.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
So tell us a little bit more about your volunteer work, Kids Arthritis. That was something that you initially didn't have a formal structure around it, I imagine. You were just wanting to share with people
make
what
the
you've been
awareness
through.
and everything. And through that, my daughter Sarah, she then wanted
That's
to.
me.
Yeah, that's her.
That's me.
Wanted to make awareness too.
Mm.
You know, she said there has to be awareness out there, Mum. Has to, we got to do something. So at the age of 19, Sarah started up her own organisation, Kids Arthritis, and it's been running now for 8 years.
Really long time. Not
Really,
really,
really long
no,
time.
not really long time, actually, really.
Yeah,
it's
so
been a
she's
while.
the CEO and founding director. I'm the volunteer manager. Good old Mum.
Yes. She's very good at volunteers.
Yes,
There's a picture of
yes.
us. That was our first Christmas celebration, the picture that's up there now. The Handor Farm Barn. It was a really hot day.
Yes.
And we ended up going back and the kids ended up playing in a water fountain. Anyway, there is actually somebody else in that picture.
That's correct.
Here we go.
A famous, famous bear.
Our famous Arthur. Hello, Arthur.
So
Yes.
Marj is currently cuddling a teddy for those
Teddy
who
bear.
can't see.
No?
Yes, Arthur the Kids Arthritis Bear. So he has a blue shirt, black shorts, and brown legs and arms with a flower on his right paw.
Yep.
And his head is white with red ears and a big smile.
And then on
blue
the back,
eyes.
he's got Arthur the Kids Arthritis Bear.
Yeah.
And Marj, I imagine Arthur's been a part of your life for a very long time.
Yes. Yes, he used to go to hospital with Sarah, and that we've had him for about
Really.
20 years, I suppose, something like that. But then when Sarah started up Kids Arthritis, he became the mascot and the cuddly little bear, as he is. And we got a lady to do up the T-shirt for us, and then another person screen printed all for nothing, and she did the shorts as well for him. So he goes everywhere with Sarah and myself. He's been to Sydney, Melbourne, you name it, to Arthur's Teddy Bear Picnic. He's got his own Arthur's Teddy Bear Picnic. He's got
His own Instagram and Facebook.
own Instagram, Facebook, famous bear, emails. You can email to him and have a chat to him. He'll answer you back. You know, he gets on that old machine and goes.
And so all of these events, all of the emails, all those things are to encourage children and families who are living with juvenile arthritis.
That's right.
To give them a connection.
Yeah.
What a great mascot. He's a
Yeah. So he goes off to teddy bear picnics and our support groups, and the kids just want to cuddle him all the time. It just gives them that feeling of security and takes their pain away at the same time. I know one instance, if I could tell them about when you were going to Melbourne and you were going to Arthur's Teddy Bear Picnic,
Oh, yes.
and you were on the train.
Yes.
And that, anyway, this little 3-year-old was sitting further down, and she turned around and all she said was Arthur at the top of her voice,
Yeah.
and had to come running up to Sarah and Arthur to give Arthur.
I was like, who is this?
But she was on the way to Arthur's Teddy Bear Picnic. And that, but Arthur had come real. You know, she'd been seeing him on photos and Instagram and everything like that, and all of a sudden this bear was real. Yeah.
fantastic.
It was a very exciting and special experience to be a part of, and we will be back with more of those straight after this on Life Burst with Matt and Sarah chatting with Marjorie. Welcome back to Life Burst with Matt and Sarah. We're chatting with Marjorie, who is also my mum. Matt, how does it feel to be sitting in between my mum and I?
Yes, we've strategically
refereeing.
positioned this.
But anyway, you made a comment that you don't know many people who have carried the baton.
Yes,
Matthew.
no, I don't.
Yes. Do you know someone else?
I
that might
do,
have?
yes. So we've been talking about the Queen's Baton, which is now behind us, and March 1998.
2006.
2006.
Just throwing numbers out.
That's fine.
But yes, someone else. Got some-
Yes.
I asked
Yeah.
you. Who?
Yeah, no, this is Marge's interview.
Yes, Sarah was nominated for her achievement with kids' arthritis and what she'd the awareness and starting up the organisation and everything. She got nominated, and so in 2018 she carried the banner,
The Baton.
the baton,
Yes.
the batons through Hindorf.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
So two of you in the same family have had the honour.
That's right. Yeah, it was like, no.
It is a very surreal experience, and
Yeah.
I got to hold it down the main street of Hindorf, which is a big tourist village, and there was like all of the kids from the local primary schools there, and then there was a ceremony. I got to hold it through the whole ceremony, and it is quite heavy. If you don't train to hold something that's heavy, like it can be quite overwhelming as well. It is heavy. It's a heavy thing.
It's a real buzz.
Yes, that's right. It is.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. But you have changed your shirt as well.
I have,
We will
yes.
mention that. It is a different colour.
That's right. It's blue for kids' arthritis, and on here it's got I support kids' arthritis and that.
So your Sarah mentioned your help with volunteers as well as being a volunteer yourself, but your involvement in this whole initiative, this whole organisation, I imagine is fairly significant, being the mother who's been involved supporting Sarah. But as you've seen the need, how have you got involved over the years?
Through getting volunteers to help raise money and funds for the organisation. One of the big annual events that we do is Flowers for Charity, which is I grow flowers, grow chrysanthemums, and then I get volunteers that come in the week leading up to Mother's Day, and we make up posies. And we would sell about 30 a day, and that $5 each. So next time you're in Chunga around Mother's Day, and then come the Saturday before Mother's Day, it's a whole day event. Like we make up about 100 to 150 on that day to sell on Mother's Day.
Wow.
So our busiest days are the Saturday and the Sunday, but Sunday mainly. I don't only get the flowers from my place. I go to other people's places and they go, oh, it must be Mother's Day. Marjorie's here. Yep, can I cut some leucodendron or blue gum? And they just let me.
Yeah.
So I trim up each Chunga.
Yes. Now that's a significant number of flowers. I mean, there's a lot of volunteers behind it.
Yeah, about 300 flowers,
Yeah.
posies that we do in that time. And now, they've died back, but they're still there, ready to reshoot again. So Chrissies are a very easy flower to grow.
And they're very pretty as well.
And they're very
especially for
pretty.
Mother's Day.
And actually, while I think of it,
She's got another prop.
talking
She's
about flowers,
got another prop.
I have some flowers here for you,
For me.
for Matt.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
Fantastic.
and
I don't get any.
some for Sarah.
Oh, aye.
Yes. Sorry about the mic. But actually, Matt, those flowers aren't for you because really it seems a bit odd of me. So they're me giving you flowers. So they're for your wife, and here's a couple of chocolates for you.
I'll accept that. And they are roses, so hey.
Well, that's right. They are roses.
Well done.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
So how did this start out? The Mother's Day flowers. Did you start with your own garden, your own flowers, and then just it sort of?
No. Well, I started with my garden, but my mum used to grow chrysanthemums, not to sell, but just for the colour and everything. And she grew them, and I thought, well, they're so easy to grow, and they're so easy to propagate, and so easy. They hardly having any looking after. So us mothers, do while we're breastfeeding and that, we just sort of think. You sit there and think, and you think, and you think. And I thought, Chrissy's is so easy and everything. I think, I'll make up posies and start selling them. I used to sell them for about $2 down the main street of Ichunga, and now they're up to, the $5.
And
So
how
it was
many-
just,
How many did you sell in that first year, maybe?
I know I made $74.
Right.
Yeah.
$2 a pop.
$2 a pop.
Yeah, so that's a pretty big undertaking. But
Yeah.
now you're up to, the hundreds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And so that keeps me busy. It's my hobby, chrysanthemums, and I just get there, got to weed them, and then fertilise them and tender them, and yeah.
And you do have a love for gardening yourself
I do,
anyway. You're being
yeah.
a country girl, but you've also, it's something that you love to do.
Yes, yeah. So we also, with our fundraising to make awareness and that, we hold Bunnings barbecues,
Oh, yes.
and so that involves volunteers again, and I have my little crew. That,
I would like to know, as your daughter, no.
Yes.
How did you feel that first time when we ran our first support group? How did you feel about everything that was going on?
It was like, oh wow, we can get and talk to the parents and the little children. They came and they did crafts, and you could talk to them, about different issues and everything. I do crafts, I organise volunteers to come and help with the crafts, and also just to play games with them as well.
And just be there with them.
And just be there with them. And Arthur too,
And the parents really appreciate having, another parent who gets them, that understands them.
Yeah.
You can relate to them.
That's right.
In that way.
Mm-hmm.
And have Marj, you yourself seen the impacts, the positive impact that's had on those families and the children?
Oh yes, yeah. I know that you had Julie on the TV show not that long ago, and she was one that came to us. She grew up with juvenile arthritis and that, but now, and she was lost. But now she's found us, and it just makes us so happy, and and her husband, and
she came on TV. Like, that's just yeah. She would never have done anything like that before.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
And that and the families also help with the volunteering. They'll come up and they'll do flowers. They'll do Bunnings barbecue. We've got a big one happening this Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, no, sorry, this is TV, so it won't be this Saturday. But anyway, we will be holding. We hold. Yeah.
Yeah, you do lots
from time to time.
They do from time to time.
Good fundraiser. Yeah. And all those funds back into the charity, enabling you to continue to support others.
Yeah, we're doing a Project Arthur, a little miniature Arthur into a heat pack, so we're raising funds for getting that happening out there.
Very passionate.
That's right.
I can say with that. So outside of kids' arthritis and outside of gardening, what type of things did you and Peter used to get up to?
Peter with the CFS and that, I used to get involved with CFS with him. He was also with the RSL, so we would do fundraising and volunteering for those organisations as well, RSL and CFS, and can't think of...
Very much in the community.
Very much community minded.
Yes, that's right. Well, we will come back with more Life Bursts with Matt and Sarah chatting with Marjorie straight after this. Welcome back to Life Bursts with Matt and Sarah. We're chatting with Marjorie, who is also my mum, if you haven't worked that out by now. We did a pretty good job of hiding it. Not hiding it, but just not telling everybody that it was that. We talked a whole lot about your life. There is so much awesome props on the table. We've got the dolls that we mentioned before of you and Peter, the flowers, lettering from when you worked at the newspaper. We've got a house there that you and Peter or my dad built together.
Not that house.
Well, not that house, but yeah. But
yes.
In our first time that we met with you, the first part you shared about the passing of your dad, and then there was the passing of your mother as well. And then in 2019 is when Peter, my dad, passed away as well.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
So he had diabetes, quite bad, and had a toe amputated, and things like that. But inside of him, things were just getting worse than that, and he had a heart attack. Went into the Royal Adelaide Hospital, great place. and went to have a bypass done, but he never recovered from that. He was 8 days in a coma. So Sarah and myself used to go down there and visit him all the time and everything, but and he was hooked up to a lot of machinery and things like that. So yeah, I got a phone call one night to say that he'd gone, and we then packed up the family and went down. And but that was very hard because that was at 2 o'clock in the morning. They rang me, and I thought, I'm going to get everybody up at that hour of the night, and that so came about 6 o'clock. I then let people know.
And we all went down and saw him.
All went down, yes, we all went down and saw him and did our farewells and everything there. But one of the things I might say here is that when someone passes away, a lot of people blame God. And that, why God? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? It's nothing to do with God. It's the way that we are made up. It's the way that we look after ourselves. We're not to know how or when, but it's God's plan is to put us on the world, earth, and do what we need to do. He was with CFS and things like that, but his health just got the better of him.
That's right. He was a firefighter, and so cardiac arrest is one of the highest, forms of things that kill firefighters because of their high, just how they're always out there and their high adrenaline and how their bodies have to shift.
But the
and
diabetes
change.
Also was most of the problem there. So you just need to look after yourself and that. So
how did life change?
How did life change? Well, it's a matter of bringing up 2 children, or 2 adults, I should say, on your own. But they were magnificent. They supported me. They helped me. Any paperwork and anything I had to do, they were there to help me get through that, because there is so much to do when someone passes away. You got to change this, that, and everything else. And I'll put out there now, if the government's listening, that they should give.
That's what the government wants to do in our show, yeah.
They should. I might use the wrong words, but anyway, that they should give people 6 months to a year just to grieve, just to get over everything before they have to start sorting stuff out. Like, that person has passed away, and all of a sudden you've got all the stuff that you have to do, and yeah. I know you have to organise a funeral and things like that, but afterwards changing your accounts and bank details and that was very, very tiring.
After you're already in the grieving and continue to grieve. So, I can't imagine what it's like to lose a partner or a father even. What kept you going through and what kept you with hope through that time?
Strength, support from family and friends. I've got a lot of support out there that I can talk to and just keep on going. And every day was a challenge. Now it's not as bad, but you go to do something and you think, oh, now Peter, where did you put this in the shed, or where's this thing, or things like that. So you still find that you're always wanting to ask something.
Would you have any advice specifically to others who are grieving or at the moment or going through something similar, or living with someone who is getting close to the end?
Just to, again, like I mentioned with a disability, a person with a disability, to have strength, hope, patience, have a lot of friends around you, and just let the light shine around you.
Life did change. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you for
You
sharing
might
that.
find, you might find, you're struggling, but it will get better.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As the days go on.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, yeah, thank you. Appreciate you sharing that. And plenty of people do go through the challenges that you've experienced.
That's
and,
right.
Yeah, be
And
encouraged.
It's hard out there, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in the final few minutes of our show that we have left, if you had, I'm going to say a couple because I know that you have a few pieces that you've put together. You've written them down in your little book there.
Well, I've got one on the phone.
And
I'm
on your
going to
phone
use a
too,
phone.
that you really wanted
Isn't that amazing?
really wanted to share with people today. What would those pieces be?
Well, this one I thought was quite different. And really, really good. It's when a flashlight grows dim or quits working, do you just throw it away? Of course not. You change the batteries. When a person messes up or finds themselves in a dark place, do you cast them aside? Of course not. You help them change their batteries. Some need AA, which is attention, affection. Some need AAA, which is attention, affection, and acceptance. Some need C for compassion. Some need D for direction. And if they still don't seem to shine, simply sit with them quietly and share your light.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's very
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
I thought that was very, very clever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
There's
meaningful.
something.
Yeah.
That's right. And you had another piece?
Oh, I have another little one about love life.
Okay.
Learn to be in love with life, and then you'll surely find life will be in love with you. Give happiness of mind. When morning lifts the curtain and the start another day, remember you must take your part like an actor in a play. The drama that is staged is life, made up of joy and tears, with love and hope and laughter ringing down the changing years. When you love life and life loves you, you'll find the play is happy too.
Beautiful.
And that's from poems and skits that my mother used to do.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, great advice. And thank you, Marj, so much for
It's right, my pleasure.
sharing your advice and story with you today in props and in words. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
This
Right.
is definitely a show that you need to watch online. So actually watch it rather than listening to it if you are just listening to it. So you can get a full, overview of the photos and the props and things that are here as well. This has been Life Burst with Matt and Sarah. You can catch up with us wherever you get your podcast from, and on YouTube and Facebook, and of course on community television and radio. I'm Sarah.
I'm Matt. Plenty more stories to share, so please join us again. But thanks so much for joining us today.
Life Bursts is hosted by Matthew Karat and Sarah Freeman, with production by Reese Jarrett and Kay Hoshro Ozadigan. For more episodes of Life Bursts, go to rawcut.com.au. This is a RawCut production.